Hi, my name is Hilary Thomas, and I'm the Artistic Director of the Lineage Performing Arts Center in Pasadena. We are celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, and when we started in 1999, we were a dance company dedicated to telling the stories of local nonprofits through our art. And now, decades later, we are a theater with live music, dance, acting, storytelling, visual arts, and we invite you to join us to find your own artistic voice and connect with us through the arts. As the artistic director, I have what I think is just the biggest privilege ever of telling other people's stories in some sort of artistic fashion, and that's mostly what we do. Is we often focus on the true stories of community members, whether they're sharing their stories about their experiences going through cancer, or we have a show where we focus on mental health and suicide. We also have a show that we look at that focuses on what it means to get older and has intergenerational storytellers present. And so what I get to do is somehow transform true stories into art by introducing dance, movement, music, as well as the true stories. And to me, that gives a power and a strength to the human voice in a way that really can't be done in any other fashion. So when we started in 1999, our focus was to raise support and awareness for local nonprofits, because we were a bunch of dancers who didn't have any money to actually donate. And when I realized I was being asked to contribute money to all of these wonderful nonprofits in Pasadena, I said, well, I can't do that. What if I rethink the way we make contributions? So we put together a show to support Young and Healthy, which is an amazing nonprofit in Pasadena. And then another organization asked us to do it, and we continued creating these performances in conjunction with nonprofits for years. We traveled across the country doing it, and we realized that in Pasadena, it was really hard for us to find a venue to do these performances and to gather artists. And so in 2010, we decided to open the Lineage Performing Arts Center as a way for artists, nonprofits, community members to just find a home to be able to share their artistic voice. And we just opened our new center in 2020. And this space up on Lake and Mountain in Pasadena has allowed us to expand our dreams even further. And so we have a studio and a theater and a front lobby area where you can at any time walk in and find dancers dancing in the studio, performers singing, working on music in the theater, on all kinds of wonderful hustle and bustle going on in the lobby.
So I'm Cynthia Crass, and I'm the Executive Director of Lineage Performing Arts Center. And one of the programs that we are very proud of is our dance education program. And that is a program where we provide dance education to our local schools. So we've got teachers at Pasadena, teachers at Muir, teachers at Blair, I left somebody out, teachers at Elliott, doing a variety of different kinds of dance, providing dance education in the schools where the schools can't actually hire individual teachers to come in. We are able to provide them a teaching artist to come on a regular basis, make connections and relationships with the students there. We have our teacher at Muir who has started the dance team there, and they are going wild and doing such great things and performing all the time everywhere, and very exciting, and hopefully pulling other schools who say, oh, we want to do that too. So just keeping the dance education moving in our local public schools.
My name is Courtney Simpson, and I am the Development and Operations Coordinator here at Lineage Performing Arts Center. So one of the programs that we are really excited about having and hosting is the Mystics Dance Team program. It's an after-school program at John Muir, which is one of the Title I public schools that we collaborate with. This program is exciting because I feel like it's an introduction to the overall picture that we're trying to achieve at Lineage. So on top of being your home for connecting through the arts, we also want to expand dance education. There's a lot of opportunity for students to grow, especially when it comes to dance and self-expression. And Lineage's mission is to help provide provide and create platforms for those individuals. So that's a program that has started with one of our dance education teachers, Angie Vaughn, and so we want to continue expanding that program, but also create new programs with schools who are missing that dance component. So something that drew me to Lineage and why I decided, hey, I'm gonna hang out here and stay and be a part of it is the welcoming environment, as well as the intergenerational acclimation of shows and how you're able to express yourself and be involved in art that isn't limiting or isn't a specific box. Like, what I really appreciate at Lineage is the avenues that you can take to be involved with performing arts as well as express yourself, and also the individuals who are also involved and passionate about that. One thing that I love is Dance for Joy, because it's just an influx of individuals from all different age groups and abilities, and they come in with the love of dance and to be with each other and explore this way of expression. And I appreciate how Lineage continues to encourage those programs and provide those programs for individuals to access.
One of the programs that has been really the strongest throughout Lineage history and has been a surprise to me since the moment it started is called Dance for Joy. And we started this particular program to offer free movement, theater, and music classes to people with Parkinson's disease. And at the time, I was working on a show called The Brain in Motion that conveyed what the human brain experience is through dance. And in doing research, I found that dance tremendously helps people with Parkinson's and other neurological challenges. So we decided to create this program, which is now one of our hugest, most thriving programs, where every week we see dozens of people come through these doors who have various neurological challenges that I get to dance with on a regular basis. And now often you can find them performing in our shows, and it has built up this community of joy and love and connection and healing through art that is unlike anything I've ever seen anywhere else.
One of the things we're looking forward to is we have a very full season this year of performances, but it culminates in a very exciting performance of the musical Rent, which Hilary and the Lineage performers do the Lineage magic to shows that people know, and then they do other things with it and make it come more alive and put more dance in it, make it more relevant, and bring it like in your face right to everybody in the audience. So we're super excited about Rent coming to the Lineage stage in May.
So Lineage is so wonderful in that our community is very communicative with us. So we've actually had individuals come to our space and ask, how can we get involved? Like, for example, we had a nonprofit organization that provides internships with individuals with disabilities. And so they came to us because one of their individuals wanted to get into performing arts. And so we began discussions, brought the individual in, so they were able to be exposed to our environment, which they agreed, this is the career I want, this is the career that I want to pursue. And so that's just an example of the different areas that Lineage covers. Another program that helps keep us informed is our Dance for Joy program. We have a lot of students with Parkinson's, MS, and who handle and manage stroke. And so a lot of those individuals, they're very great about communicating their needs to us, as well as other community needs of individuals who have similar neurodiversities as them. And so we always take that into account whenever we're planning programming for Lineage, and that's one of the ways we like to stay involved. We also like to participate in our local fairs, festivities, as well as festivals such as the Pasadena Dance Festival that Lineage helped put on a few years ago. That's a way that we like to stay engaged and how we like to stay involved with our community.
I think one of the things that sets us apart is our openness and willingness to partner with other nonprofits in the area. We have a full calendar, but we are always trying to help other groups who don't have a space, right? So there's so many art groups out there that have wonderful missions and great ideas about projects they want to do, but they don't have a space. And they will come to us and we will partner with them, or we will at least make our space available to them in a way that doesn't break their bank, but also keeps us moving forward, and it fits our mission, right? That it is something that we also agree with. So for example, we've got a climate action concert coming up in September that we are partnering with another nonprofit, and there's a bunch more kind of as the season goes on, where we're just finding spaces where we can help other groups who aren't as fortunate as we are to have a space to put their shows on, and we'll help them figure out how to do that. One of the things we do is partner with other nonprofits. For example, we've partnered with the Foundation for Living Beauty and created a show about people going through cancer treatment, and work with them to help inform the show, but then also share profits with them. We've also done work with the D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Center and worked with them, again, creating work that illuminates some of what they're dealing with, but also is a way for people to tell their story, to see other ways of looking at sometimes really difficult topics, but also just a way to make it part of the conversation.
So Lineage in the next few years. So Lineage is celebrating 25 years of being involved with the community, as well as providing programs that engage audiences and honestly are thought-provoking. And so I'd say in these next 25 years, on top of expanding those programs and those shows, we also want to improve and upgrade our accessibility. So some of the things we'd like to add to Lineage is providing options for hearing aids during shows, as well as automatic doors so individuals can come in who have probably, in a wheelchair or just cannot naturally open the door on their own. I'd say that's the next step for us. Yeah, so there are a variety of ways that you can get involved with Lineage. And the first thing I recommend individuals do is go to our website. So that's lineagepac.org, and there are options and opportunities for volunteering, interning with us, as well as participating in our shows. We have an exciting program coming up this fall, leading up to our exciting show of Rent next May. And so there are going to be a variety of opportunities for individuals to come and help us out. Another way you can help us out is becoming a donor, becoming a patron. We have a gala event that's coming up where we encourage everyone to attend and participate in. And we also have a lot of opportunities for individuals who just want to donate and provide funds to arts, as well as individuals who are pursuing arts.
It has been so incredible to watch and to be a part of this Lineage journey, which would not exist if it weren't for every single person in the community, whether it is the professional artists, the teachers, the staff, the people coming to take classes, people coming to the theater, people whose stories are being told through all of these performances. And every time we are together, it's a giant love fest filled with creation and art. And when I think back to what I have kind of always wanted to do in my life, and I didn't realize it could actually be a career, all I ever wanted to do was create art with other people and to feel it in a loving, supportive environment. And I think that we've done a really good job of creating that space. And so I invite you to come and find us and discover, in fact, you're a dancer, you didn't even know it, or you are a singer and you didn't know it, or you have a story to tell that is really important that other people need to hear. Come find us and we will figure out where you fit into the artistic community.
Door of Hope is a Pasadena-based nonprofit with a mission to empower families facing homelessness to transform their lives. We envision a world in which every family has a home in which to thrive physically, economically, emotionally, and spiritually. And we pursue that mission and vision through 4 transitional shelters that move unhoused families into their own permanent home, and a homelessness prevention program designed to keep families at imminent risk of eviction in their current housing. We invite you to come check us out by attending a tour or going to the website. My name is Katerjian. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Door of Hope, leading a team of 42 dedicated staff members who work with families facing homelessness in the Pasadena area and LA County. Door of Hope was founded in 1985 by a couple named Steve and Iris Lazarian with a friend who was a civil rights activist in the area. They had a heart for families who were sleeping on the street, and especially the impact of homelessness on children. And so they opened up a home designed to keep families together through their trauma and move them into housing, and that's still at the heart of our mission today. Door of Hope has two central programs. Our first program that we're best known for is transitional housing that is operated out of 4 different shelters in the LA area. We shelter 37 families at a time and provide holistic services ranging from case management to job and career development to housing navigation to therapy, all designed to move an unhoused family from homelessness into their own permanent home and to help them thrive successfully for the long term. Our second major program is our homelessness prevention program, and that's because every family experiencing homelessness was once successfully housed. And so many people are falling into eviction even today. And so if we can just intervene early with short-term rental assistance and work on long-term financial stability, we can make a huge dent in the homelessness crisis by preventing it before it happens. In many ways, the homelessness that we see in Pasadena is a microcosm of the homelessness in LA County. There are over 75,000 people who are homeless countywide, and of course many of them are right here in our own backyard. But there are some really important differences when you consider families. In Pasadena, family homelessness shot up by 46% last year, and that's compared to only a 5% increase in the rest of LA County. Door of Hope serves families in and around Pasadena, so we draw a circle around Pasadena from Glendale to Pomona. And in that particular service area, since 2022, family homelessness has shot up by 26%. So if you are interested in the problem of family homelessness that Door of Hope is designed to tackle, we're in many ways at the epicenter of that crisis. Family homelessness is caused by so many different factors. It's very complicated and complex. In addition to the financial barriers, the affordable housing crisis that we have or lack thereof, oftentimes it's intermingled with issues of domestic violence. So single mothers who have children, you can probably bet that there has been some kind of domestic violence trauma in their background. When you have children and you're low income and you're pushing, trying to make it on a low income wage, it is nearly impossible when you consider the average rent in Pasadena. So the high cost of living and the multiple barriers and complexities that parents with children face is a huge part of why we're seeing that increase. Success at Door of Hope is really easy to describe. It's a family moving from one of our shelters into their own permanent housing and then keeping that for the long term. So far this year, we have moved 26 families into their own home. Of the families we graduated last year, 95% are still successfully housed. And of the families that we graduated 5 or more years ago, 86% have never experienced homelessness again. One of those families is a mom named Lily, who became homeless when she made the really brave decision to flee her abusive husband. And she had no work history, no family support, and she was terrified of not being able to provide for her 3 boys. We encourage families to find work as soon as possible, but also to enroll in education if they need a degree or certification to find that long-term living wage job. And so by the time Lily left our program, she had certifications in phlebotomy, a CNA license, a home health care license. She's now enrolled in UCLA's medical assistant program, and working with our housing navigation team, she and her 3 boys are successfully housed in a beautiful apartment in San Fernando Valley. She's working full-time at a hospital, and she's working on increasing her long-term earning potential through more education. Door of Hope tries to stay on top of the needs in our community, first by looking at the data out there. We have a wonderful housing department team here in Pasadena who leads our homeless count every year and connects partners for collaboration and to share ideas and understand problems. But we also really want to learn from our clients and their experience. And so we have an alumni network. We do alumni surveys twice a year where we are asking questions about their experience and trying to identify the root causes of not only their past homeless situation, but the current barriers they have for a long-term success, so that we can meet families where they are and help them thrive for the long term. The biggest barrier that Door of Hope has to long-term success is the same barrier LA County has in overcoming our homelessness crisis, is the lack of affordable housing. And so we not only try to partner well with landlords and network and convince them that our clients makes great tenants. They are set up for long-term success by going through our holistic program. But we also try to partner with advocacy groups so that we can get more and more affordable housing built in LA County. Another big barrier we have is a very, very long waiting list. We say no to 25 families for every one family that we can shelter. And we say no to 8 families for every one family we can enroll in our homelessness prevention program. And so we are trying to overcome that by expanding our services. We have an effort to open up a new shelter right here in Pasadena for 20 new families. And we are increasing the number of families we can serve through our homelessness prevention program by 10% every year in partnership with the city of Pasadena. One of the differentiators of Door of Hope is that we are a Christian faith-based provider. And I like to explain that difference really in terms of the kind of love and care that our families provide. Our staff are doing this work both because they have a heart for homeless families, but also because they integrate living out their faith with their profession. And so they are absolutely passionate about their work. We follow Jesus, which means that we provide unconditional love to everyone who walks through our doors. And that comes out in oftentimes the long-term relationships that families have with our staff. So we're always the first to know if families hit a crisis and need some support. We provide not just the practical support, but also the emotional and spiritual support. And it's that holistic approach that is really the secret sauce at Door of Hope. One very common assumption that people have because we are a Christian faith-based provider is that we might only serve families who are Christian. And I always love to say that we are a place that serves families of all faith or no faith, and we love that inclusive environment that we can provide, where we simply provide unconditional love, excellent social services, with the goal of helping them transform their lives and being a friend in a time of need. I am most excited about our efforts to open up a new shelter right here in Pasadena. In fact, our groundbreaking is on September 6th, and we are going to be spending the next year and a half building out a beautiful home. We're turning it from 3,600 square feet into a 15,000 square foot facility that will have 20 bedrooms and 20 bathrooms designed for 20 families who will live with us for an average of 10 months and graduate one day into their own permanent housing. Door of Hope partners with our local nonprofit referring organizations. Union Station is a big one, as well as local domestic violence emergency shelters, including the YWCA of Pasadena and Glendale. And we also rely on community partners to enhance our services. I can think of Foothill Family Services or 5 Acres that have been referring partners for therapy. I can think of many churches who refer potential clients who are coming to them in a time of crisis, but that they can refer to us. And then we have so many different partners in government who enable and empower us to do our work. I think of Supervisor Catherine Barger, who has been such a supporter and given funds to our new shelter project, among other areas of service. The City of Pasadena, who has provided nearly $2 million in funding for our new shelter and has been a granting partner for our homelessness prevention program. So we are in good hands with a lot of good government and nonprofit partners around us who help us do our work that much better. In the next 2 years, Door of Hope is on a mission to increase our shelter capacity by over 60%. We're doing that not just through opening a new shelter for 20 families in Pasadena, but also looking at our 4 current shelters and increasing capacity there, adding new units through renovation projects. And that's to address the long waiting list that we have for unhoused families needing to enter our program. We also are incrementally increasing services for families at risk of eviction. And so every year we're increasing enrollment by 10% and serving that many more families so that by 2026 we will be serving nearly 250 families through that program. I dream of a world in which every family has a home. That is our vision at Door of Hope. And we like to say that we end homelessness one family at a time. I think if every individual and every nonprofit took that approach when it comes to homelessness, we could each partner so that maybe together, 50 years from now, we could actually end homelessness in our community. There are so many ways to get involved at Door of Hope. The size makes it a really accessible organization to have a direct impact on so many of the families that we serve. Oftentimes people will get together and cook a meal and deliver it, and sometimes sit with families around the dinner table. We have 2 events a year that are carnivals or festivals designed for a family-friendly environment, and groups will come in and run a carnival booth for us. We have individuals who teach financial literacy or nutrition or domestic violence prevention or parenting classes, something that they are an expert in or could learn a curriculum to teach. And so there are so many different ways to partner with us as volunteers. We also exist largely through the generosity of individuals. And so in fact, 70% of our funding comes from individuals right in our backyard, Pasadena and beyond. And so we make those dollars donated go a really, really long way. But the best place to learn more about the impact of financial giving would be on our website. People don't often think of parents and young children when they think about homelessness, but actually families are 16% of the homeless population. And I'm biased. I'm a mom with 2 young kids, but I'd like to think it's one of the most important populations to intervene with. Children break the cycle of generational poverty. And so by investing in those kids who have been sleeping in a car or in a tent or in a park, we are truly setting not just them up for long-term success, but a better society when they become thriving adults. And so I would love to see more and more people be sold out for the cause of ending homelessness, one family at a time, and by partnering with Door of Hope to do just that.